Part 1 minus 1,000 word expanded version clean. Fast-paced, simple words. Only the story Emma Hayes never planned to say yes. All week she had prepared her usual excuse. Too tired, too busy, not in the mood. It was easier to avoid people than to face them. Her small apartment felt safe, even if it was lonely. She had routines for everything. Morning coffee at the same time. Same chair, same drive to work, same quiet evenings afterward. It wasn't exciting, but it was simple. And simple was easier than getting hurt or judged. But on Thursday afternoon, Lily called again. Lily didn't accept excuses easily. She talked fast, laughed loud, and reminded Emma of the version of herself she used to be years ago. Before life got heavy, "We're going to the lake this weekend," Lily said. "Just 8 of us. Cooking, music, a fireplace, nothing crazy. Please come." Emma sighed. She stared at her reflection in the office, window-tired eyes, soft voice, someone who didn't know how to feel young anymore. She wanted to say no, but something inside her whispered that staying alone forever wasn't living. She took a breath and said it before she changed her mind. "Okay, I'll come." The second she hung up, she panicked. What would she wear? Who would be there? Would she just sit quietly while everyone else had fun? But she had said yes, and Lily was already sending excited messages. So backing out wasn't an option now. Saturday evening came fast. Emma drove 2 hours north, watching the city lights fade behind her. The road curved through tall trees and wide open fields. When she reached the lake house, she could see warm yellow lights glowing through the windows and hear laughter drifting outside. Her heart raced. She wasn't good at new faces or loud rooms. She grabbed her bag, walked to the door, and froze. She almost turned back, but the door swung open before she could escape. "There you are!" Lily shouted, pulling her inside before she could thank. The house was cozy and beautiful wooden walls. Soft lights, big windows showing the moonlit lake. Coats hung everywhere. The smell of food filled the air. And music played low in the background. Everyone seemed relaxed, talking in small circles, smiling easily. Emma felt out of place, but Lily didn't let her hide. She introduced her to everyone quickly: James and Chloe, who were married. Sam, who always cracked jokes. Megan, who was quiet but sweet. And then there was him. "Noah, this is Emma," Lily said. He turned toward her with a calm smile. Noah Carter. Tall, kind eyes, hands in his pockets like he had no need to impress anyone. He looked at her the way people rarely did, with attention, not judgment. "Glad you made it," he said, simple and sincere. Emma felt her voice disappear for a second. She nodded, forcing a small smile. "Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd come." "Well, I'm glad you did," he said again. As if he meant every word. Emma had heard those words before from people who didn't care. But something in his voice made her believe him. The evening moved fast. Someone handed her hot chocolate, someone else asked about her job, and before she knew it, she was laughing at a story Sam told about falling in a river last summer. The room felt warm, not just from the fireplace, but from being around people who didn't expect her to be louder or funnier or different. She could just exist. Noah sat across from her, quietly watching, not staring, just noticing. Every time their eyes met, he smiled. Not a big smile, just soft, like he was saying hello without words. After dinner, everyone moved to the living room near the fireplace. Soft music played, someone lit candles, and Emma sat on the rug with her hot drink. She wasn't used to gatherings like this. Usually, parties felt loud and overwhelming, but this one felt gentle voices calm, laughter easy. No one trying to be the center of attention. Noah sat beside her. Not too close, just enough to show he wanted to be near her. "First time here?" he asked. She nodded. "Lily convinced me." "She tends to do that," he said. "She convinced me last year. I almost didn't come either." Emma looked at him, surprised. He didn't seem like someone who would avoid people. He looked confident, relaxed, the kind of person who fit anywhere. "Why almost?" Emma asked. "I thought I didn't belong," he said. "Work, life, everything felt heavy. I just wanted quiet. But sometimes you need the world to pull you out." Emma understood that more than she could say. She looked at him, wondering how a stranger could speak a sentence that felt like he was describing her life. The group started a game nothing wild, just answering funny questions and sharing stories. Emma expected to sit silent, but people included her gently, asking her things without pushing too hard. She surprised herself by joining in. She talked about school, work, books she liked as a kid. Nothing dramatic, just simple pieces of her life she hadn't shared with anyone in a long time. When she laughed, she noticed Noah watching her. Not with flirting or intensity, but with quiet interest. Like he wanted to learn her, not just meet her. Later, someone suggested going outside to see the lake. Everyone grabbed jackets and stepped out into the cool night air. The moon reflected on the dark water like a silver path across the surface. Emma stood near the edge of the dock, breathing in the cold, fresh air. Being outside with the sound of water felt peaceful in a way she hadn't felt in years. She didn't hear Noah walk up beside her, but she felt it. He didn't talk right away. He just stood there, letting silence be comfortable. "It's beautiful out here." He finally said, "It is," she answered, her voice calm. "You look calmer out here," he said gently, less tense. She almost apologized for being tense earlier, but he shook his head. "You don't need to explain," he said. "Everyone has reasons for who they are." Emma stared at the water. The way he talked felt different. Not heavy, not deep on purpose, just honest. "I'm not used to things like this," she said. "People, being seen." He nodded. "I get that. You're quieter than everyone else. But you don't seem lost. Just thinking a lot." Small laugh escaped her. "I think too much." "That's not a bad thing," he said. "Quiet people notice more." She wasn't falling in love. She wasn't imagining a future. She was just feeling seen, maybe for the first time in years. They went back inside. Everyone gathered around the living room again, talking about plans for tomorrow, canoes, board games, cooking together. Emma didn't know what tomorrow would be like. She just knew something inside her had shifted for once. She wasn't invisible. She had walked into a house filled with strangers. But now she felt like the world might have space for her again. And somewhere in that room, Noah glanced at her one more time. Smiling softly as if the night had only just begun, Emma had come to spend one evening with friends. But life had quietly opened a new door, one she didn't know she needed. And the night was only getting started. Part 2, minus 1,000 word expanded version clean. Fast-paced, simple words. Only the story the night moved forward with light music and warm laughter. Everyone seemed relaxed, but Emma's mind kept replaying small moments. Every time someone spoke to her, she felt included. Every time she laughed, it surprised her. She had forgotten what it felt like to simply exist around people without feeling judged. She stayed close to the fireplace, holding a warm cup of tea while others played a board game at the center table. Noah sat beside her again, not asking for attention, just sharing the space. He didn't talk too much, and she liked that. Most people talked to fill silence, but he seemed comfortable inside it. The quiet felt easy with him there. "You look like you're thinking about something," said softly. "About everything," she answered honestly. He smiled. "That's a lot for one night." She wanted to ask him why he noticed so much, but before she could speak, Sam called everyone to join a game. People sat in a circle, sharing funny stories about their worst first dates, most embarrassing childhood memories, and silly things they believed as kids. Emma expected the stories to be loud or wild, but they were just simple and human people trying to make each other laugh. When it was Emma's turn, she froze. Her chest tightened. She hated attention, but everyone waited with patient eyes, ready to listen, not judge. She took a breath and told a soft, funny story about how she accidentally walked into the wrong classroom in college and sat through half a lecture before realizing she didn't belong there. The group burst into laughter, not at her, but with her. The sound felt warm. Even Emma laughed, surprised that her small story made others smile. When the laughter faded, she caught Noah looking at her. His eyes filled with something gentle, almost proud. Later, as the group drifted into smaller conversations, Emma stood and walked toward the window. The moon had risen higher, reflecting across the quiet lake. She didn't know why she felt drawn to the water. Maybe because it was peaceful. Maybe because inside that busy room, her thoughts needed space. She stepped outside again, wrapping her arms around herself as the cold air touched her skin. The lake was calm, the night silent, the breeze carrying the scent of pine trees and earth. She felt her heartbeat slowing, her mind settling. She heard soft footsteps behind her. Noah. He didn't rush her or ask questions. He just stood beside her, looking at the lake like the water was speaking a language only quiet people understood. "You disappeared," he said. Not accusing, just noticing. "I needed air," she replied. "Me too," he said. "Crowds are fun, but exhausting." Emma smiled a little. "Everyone else seems fine. They're just better at pretending," he said, glancing at her. "Everyone here has something they're running from or trying to forget. You're not the only one who feels out of place." Emma looked at him, wondering how he could read people so easily. "What about you?" she asked. "What are you trying to forget?" Noah exhaled, his breath visible in the cold air. "A lot of things. I spent years working without rest, chasing things that didn't matter. One day I woke up and realized I was lonely in a room full of people. That's when I started saying yes to things like this." He didn't speak dramatically. He didn't try to impress her. His words were simple and real. Emma felt something shift inside her. A small connection. A thread between two quiet hearts. "You seem strong," she said. He shook his head. "No, just tired of pretending I am." That answer stayed with her. She stood there, the wind brushing her hair, the lake shining under the moon. She didn't feel like she was standing next to a stranger. She felt like she had known him for years. When they returned inside, everyone had moved to the living room again. Someone dimmed the lights, making the room soft and cozy. People talked about life, travel, and dreams. Emma sat on the couch and Noah sat beside her again. Close enough to feel his warmth. It's not close enough to make her nervous. Chloe told a story about how she once drove across the country alone just to clear her head. Megan talked about her dream of opening a small art studio. Sam talked about wanting to leave his job and start something new. Every story was a reminder that life wasn't perfect for anyone. When it was Emma's turn to share something, she froze again, unsure what to say. But Noah leaned slightly toward her, not touching her, letting her know he was listening. "I just want to feel alive again," she said. "I want to stop watching the world and start being part of it." The room went quiet, not awkward, just thoughtful. Sam smiled gently. Lily squeezed Emma's hand. No one laughed. No one judged. "Then this is a good beginning," Noah said softly. Emma felt warmth travel through her chest. A quiet warmth she hadn't felt in years. Not excitement. Not fear. Something in between. Something steady. The night grew later, but no one rushed to sleep. The fireplace crackled, music played low. And the group talked about small things, favorite seasons, old songs, movies that made them cry. Emma didn't feel invisible. People spoke to her, listened to her, cared about her answers. She kept stealing small glances at Noah. Each time she looked away, afraid he'd catch her. But each time she looked back, he was already watching. Not intensely, just with quiet interest. Like he saw the person behind her silence. At one point, someone joked about romance, asking if anyone had a secret crush in the group. Everyone laughed, denying it, teasing each other. Emma thought she would feel uncomfortable, but instead she noticed how relaxed she felt. She wasn't hiding. Her heart wasn't locked away. She didn't know what Noah was thinking. She didn't know if he liked her or was simply kind to everyone. But his presence made her feel calm, and calm felt rare. Hours passed quickly. Eventually, people went to change, get blankets, and settle into different rooms. Emma stayed in the living room, sitting by the fire. The flames moved gently, the shadows on the walls soft and dancing. Noah returned with 2 cups of warm tea. He handed her one without a word and sat beside her again. "You don't talk much," he said, "but when you do, it matters." Emma's eyes softened. She wasn't used to being seen that way. Most people notice the loud ones, the funny ones, the bright ones. But no one noticed the quiet. "I'm trying," she whispered. "You're doing more than you think," he replied. Silence settled around them, not the uncomfortable kind, but the peaceful kind where breathing and existing were enough. Emma didn't know what tomorrow would bring. She didn't know if this night was just a moment that would fade. But sitting there, with the warmth of the fire and the sound of Noah's steady breathing beside her, she felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time. She felt alive. She didn't need a big moment. She didn't need fireworks. Just a quiet night, a kind voice, and the feeling that someone in the room saw her completely. And in that soft, simple moment, she realized something important. She was exactly where she needed to be.